Welcome to the Wisdom Tribe. If you are here, it is because you have been chosen by God Himself to be part of this tribe, one of the few set apart to receive the blessing within this message. You are not here by chance. You are here by divine calling. Heaven aligned your steps to this very moment because a word is about to be spoken into your spirit that will confirm what you have been sensing. The miracle is coming, but not in the way you thought. You may feel tired. You may feel like you've been waiting forever, but chosen one, God says the wait was not wasted. What you are about to receive is something that eye has not seen, ear has not heard, and it has not even entered into your heart. Before we go any further, if your spirit is catching this word, type 7 in the comments right now. That number is not just a number, it represents divine completion, the seal that the miracle you've been waiting for is already in motion. Heaven is finishing the hidden work and preparing to deliver your blessing in a way you never saw coming. When you type it, you're not just commenting, you're declaring in faith that you are ready, positioned, and aligned to receive the miracle God has assigned to your name. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom Tribe, because this is more than a message, it's a prophetic confirmation. And stay with me until the very end of this video, because the way your miracle will show up is going to surprise you, overwhelm you, and prove once again that God's ways are higher than ours. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Your tears built the foundation. Chosen one, lean in closely because this is for you. Your tears were never wasted. Not a single drop fell unnoticed. Every time you cried in silence, when no one called, when no one comforted you, when your heart felt like it was breaking into 1,000 pieces. Heaven leaned in closer. The world may not have seen your pain, but God saw it. The world may have ignored your struggle, but heaven was counting every tear, writing every sigh, and recording every whispered prayer. Psalm 56:8 tells us, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." Imagine that. Your tears are so precious to God that He bottles them. That means they are not wasted water. They are eternal seeds. And chosen one, you must understand this. Tears are never just a release. They are spiritual currency. Every time you cried, you were depositing into your future. Every tear was like water hitting the soil of destiny, causing unseen roots to form beneath the surface of your life. The enemy thought he broke you when he pushed you to tears. But what he didn't know was this. Your tears were watering your promise. He thought you were drowning in sorrow, but in reality you were sowing in faith. He thought your nights of crying would bury you, but heaven was using those same nights to plant you deeper so you could rise higher. Chosen one, when a seed goes into the ground, it looks like death. It's buried, hidden, covered, unseen. That's what your life felt like, buried under trials, covered by disappointments, hidden in obscurity. But the truth is this. You were not being buried. You were being planted. And whatever is planted must rise. Your tears softened the soil of your destiny. They broke open the hard ground that others couldn't walk through. They made room for roots of faith that will keep you grounded when the blessing comes. Because make no mistake, the harvest that's about to spring forth will be greater than anything you prayed for. But here's the mystery. You expected your miracle to come in a certain way. You imagined it would come through the people you loved or through the path you planned. But God is saying, "No, chosen one, I am going to surprise you. The miracle will not arrive the way you pictured it. It will come in a way you least expect, so that you will know it was me and me alone who did it." You thought you were crying over loss, but God says you were crying into increase. You thought you were mourning what was gone, but heaven was preparing what is greater. You thought your story ended in that painful chapter, but God is about to turn the page in such a way that when you look back, you'll say, "If I had known what was coming, I would have shouted through those tears instead of sobbing." And here's the truth that will carry you into your miracle. Your tears were the construction workers of your destiny. They built the unseen foundation. They laid the hidden bricks. They carved the pathway that your blessing is about to walk in on. What you thought was wasted time, wasted love, wasted effort, was actually heaven pouring concrete under your feet so that when you rise, nothing will shake you. Chosen one, get ready. The nights that broke you are about to become the testimony that builds you. Your tears have built the very altar where your miracle will land. And when it comes, it will not just answer your prayers, it will exceed your imagination. Chapter 2. The closed doors were protection. Chosen one, let's go deeper into the mystery of closed doors. Every time a door slammed in your face, it hurt. The relationship you prayed would last forever, gone. The job you thought was your breakthrough, denied. The business partnership you believed would take you to the next level, dissolved. At the time, you couldn't understand it. It felt cruel, unfair, and painful. You cried, asking God, "Why does everything I want keep slipping away from me?" But let me reveal this truth. You were never cursed. You were covered. The very doors you wanted to walk through would have led to your destruction. God shut them not because He was punishing you, but because He was protecting you. You see, sometimes what looks like opportunity is actually a trap. That job that paid well might have crushed your spirit. That relationship you wanted so badly might have drained your destiny. That deal that seemed so promising might have tied you to people who would betray you in the end. You only saw the surface, but God saw the secrets. And because you are chosen, God doesn't allow you to settle for almost. He doesn't let you attach yourself to people and places that can't carry the weight of your calling. He loves you too much to let you sabotage your own destiny. Think about Joseph. When his brothers threw him in the pit and sold him into slavery, it looked like the end of his story. Every door in his life seemed to slam shut. The door of family, the door of freedom, the door of favor. But in reality, God was using closed doors as stepping stones. The pit was positioning. The prison was preparation. And the betrayal that broke his heart was the very thing that pushed him closer to the palace. Chosen one, the same is true for you. Those closed doors weren't punishment. They were heaven's rerouting system. They were God's way of saying, not here, not now, not with them. I've got something greater. Let me give you an example. Have you ever tried to force open a door that God shut? Maybe you begged someone to stay in your life, only to realize later that if they had stayed, you never would have grown. Maybe you clung to a job out of fear, only to find that losing it pushed you into discovering your real purpose. Sometimes what feels like loss is actually liberation in disguise. And here's the powerful part. The door that God has prepared for you will not be the same one you've been banging on. Revelation 3:8 says, "See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." This isn't a recycled door. This isn't something that depends on people's approval. This is a brand new door carved by heaven, and it has your name written on it. No man, no betrayal, no rejection, and no demon in hell can stop you from walking through it. So, chosen one, hear me. Stop standing outside closed doors begging to be let in. Stop crying over what you lost. Stop questioning why they left you. The truth is, what left your life wasn't your blessing. It was your barrier. What slipped away wasn't your future. It was your filter. God used rejection to redirect you into resurrection. And when you finally walk through the door heaven has prepared, you'll look back at every closed door and say, "Now I see. Now I understand. Thank you, Lord, for not letting me settle for less than your best." So hold your head up high. The closed doors were not your ending. They were your evidence. Evidence that God is watching over you, guarding you, and preparing something greater. Chosen one, your rejection was redirection, and your redirection is about to lead you straight into divine elevation. Chapter 3. God hid your miracle in unlikely places. Chosen one, hear this carefully. God has a pattern, and his pattern is to hide greatness in places the world would never look. Think about it. When Samuel came to anoint the next king of Israel, David wasn't even in the lineup. His own father didn't think he was worth presenting. His brothers overlooked him, treating him as the least and the last. David was hidden in the fields tending sheep while others were standing in front of the prophet. Yet it was in that hidden place, the fields, the wilderness, the forgotten corner, that God was shaping Israel's greatest king. The world saw a shepherd boy. Heaven saw a warrior, a psalmist, and a ruler. And then look at Moses. Born during a time of mass slaughter, he should have been killed at birth. His mother hid him for 3 months, then placed him in a basket and set him afloat on the Nile. To everyone else, he was just another endangered child, fragile and helpless. But to God, that hidden child carried the blueprint of Israel's deliverance. Moses was raised in Pharaoh's house, yet he wasn't Pharaoh's child. He was heaven's chosen, and consider Jesus himself, the Messiah of the world, born not in a palace, not in the courts of kings, but in a manger, a feeding trough for animals. The Savior of humanity, wrapped in swaddling clothes, surrounded by livestock, unnoticed by the elite. God hid the greatest miracle of all time in the most ordinary, unlikely place, so that only those with eyes of faith, the shepherds, the wise men, would recognize him. Now let's bring it back to you. You've been overlooked. You've been underestimated. Some people even laughed at your dreams. They couldn't see what was inside of you because God didn't let them. You weren't supposed to be validated by people. You were hidden, not because you were worthless, but because you were priceless. The truth is, God deliberately concealed your miracle in places that looked too broken, too small, too ordinary, so that when it manifests, no one can take the credit but him. That's why your struggle has felt so intense. That's why your life has looked so ordinary. That's why you've wondered, God, how could anything great come out of me? How could anything good come from all this pain, rejection, and disappointment? But hear me. Your miracle is inside the very thing you thought was ruined. That broken relationship, It taught you strength, discernment, and identity. That season of lack, it taught you creativity and faith. That rejection, it positioned you for a table God Himself is preparing. Your miracle is not going to come wrapped in glamour. It won't always look like the dream you had in your head. Many times it will show up disguised as something ordinary, a conversation, a small opportunity, a simple act of obedience. Think about Elijah's servant. He saw nothing but a small cloud the size of a man's hand. It looked insignificant, but Elijah said, "That's the miracle, that's the sign." And soon the sky was filled with rain. Chosen one, your miracle may look small at first, it may look hidden, but don't despise it. Don't miss it because it doesn't match your imagination. What looks ordinary on the outside carries extraordinary power on the inside. That's why people underestimated you. That's why you've been hidden so long, because God wanted to reveal you at the appointed time. Not dressed in man's approval, but clothed in His glory. So the next time you feel overlooked, remember this: God hides His greatest treasures in earthen vessels. And when the world least expects it, that treasure your miracle will break forth in power. Chosen one, your miracle is hidden in you, and soon the unlikely will become undeniable. Isaiah chapter 4. The miracle will reveal who you really are. Chosen one, hear me clearly. The blessing that is coming is not just about changing your circumstances. It is about unveiling the very essence of who you are in God's eyes. For too long, the world has misnamed you, mislabeled you, and misunderstood the depth of your calling. People saw your tears, but not your faith. Your struggles, but not your strength. Your waiting, but not the preparation that was taking place in the unseen. You've walked through seasons where you felt invisible, dismissed, and even abandoned. People called you weak because they saw your silence as submission. They mocked your waiting because they didn't understand your faith. They doubted your dreams because they couldn't see the miracle forming inside of you. But here is the truth. You were never overlooked. You were being prepared. You were being hidden until the perfect moment, until heaven decided it was time for the world to witness the fullness of your revelation. And this miracle, this blessing, is designed to reveal the real you. It will strip away the masks, the misunderstandings, and the lies the enemy has tried to place over your life. It will unveil the depth of your faith, the strength of your perseverance, and the purity of your heart. People will see your life not just transformed, but elevated beyond what you or they could have imagined. Think of Joseph. He was rejected by his family, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and locked in prison. For years, the world only saw a man beaten down by life. But when the time came, the same Joseph who was once forgotten in a dungeon was revealed as the governor of Egypt, the very one God had prepared to save nations. His identity was hidden, but it was never lost. The same is true for you. Your miracle will reveal that you were never less than, never forgotten, and never abandoned, only prepared. And consider the power of a butterfly. For months it struggles inside a cocoon, unseen and vulnerable. To the world it seems trapped, weak and fragile. But then the cocoon breaks and the butterfly emerges, radiant and unstoppable. Chosen one, your miracle is your cocoon breaking. All the struggle, all the tears, all the waiting. It has been crafting a revelation that will astonish those around you. Your miracle will reveal your true identity in a way that words cannot express. The same mouths that doubted you will be forced to recognize that the hand of God has been on your life. The blessing will speak louder than arguments, stronger than opinions, and more powerful than any attack the enemy could ever launch. Your life will testify to your faithfulness, your perseverance, and your alignment with heaven's plan. And here's the most beautiful part. When God unveils you through this miracle, you won't need to fight for recognition. You won't need to justify yourself. Your life will declare the truth. Every tear you shed, every moment of silence, every prayer spoken in the night, it was all preparation for this revelation. Chosen one, your miracle is not just an answer, it is an unveiling. It is heaven's way of saying, you are my chosen, you are my vessel, you are my testimony. And when this moment comes, it will be undeniable, undeniable to the world and undeniable to your soul. You will finally see yourself as God has always seen you, chosen, set apart, and ready to walk in a glory that no one can take from you. Your miracle is coming, and with it the world will see what God has always known, that you are extraordinary, divinely appointed, and unstoppable. Chapter 5. Your enemies will be your audience. Chosen one, there is a divine timing to your miracle, and sometimes God waits until the perfect moment, until the right audience is watching, to unveil His glory. Psalm 23:5 says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." This is not just poetic imagery, it is a prophetic blueprint for your life. Your breakthrough, your elevation, your miracle. It is not only for your joy, it is also for those who doubted you, dismissed you, or even sought to harm you. Heaven is about to make a statement, and it will be visible for all to witness. Think about the people who laughed at your dreams, mocked your faith, or dismissed your calling. Those who whispered behind your back, who counted you out and even celebrated your setbacks. They will all be front row spectators as God demonstrates His power in your life. They will see your tables turned, your favor revealed, your doors opened that no human could unlock. And even if they refuse to celebrate, even if they resist acknowledging it, they will have no choice but to recognize the undeniable hand of God in your journey. But chosen one, hear this. Your miracle is not about proving them wrong. Your miracle is about proving God right. Every closed door, every betrayal, every season of waiting, they all led to this very moment. Your enemies witnessing your miracle serves as proof that God's promises are unshakable, that His timing is perfect, and that His plans cannot be thwarted by human doubt or opposition. Imagine the power of your life as a testimony. The very people who tried to stop you will now watch as heaven works through you. They will witness doors open that seemed permanently closed, blessings arrive that defied human logic, and favor poured out that cannot be explained by coincidence. Even those who never supported you will be forced to acknowledge God's presence. They will whisper, "Surely God was with them," whether aloud or in their hearts, and it will be undeniable. This is not just about your enemies being a passive audience. It is also about your own growth and faith. Their observation will strengthen your confidence in God. You will see firsthand that your life is not determined by human approval or rejection, but by divine orchestration. While they watch, your heart will remain anchored in heaven. You won't gloat, You won't boast. You won't allow pride to take root. Instead, you will walk with humility, gratitude, and a profound awareness that this miracle is a gift from God, not something earned by your effort alone. Look at Joseph in the Bible, sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused, thrown into prison. His life seemed broken beyond repair. Yet when Pharaoh elevated him over all of Egypt, those who betrayed him were forced to witness God's plan in action. Their doubt became a living testimony to his divine destiny. The same principle applies to you. The people who underestimated you, mocked your calling, or abandoned you will now become witnesses of God's faithfulness. Even more, your miracle arriving in the presence of your enemies will serve as a powerful lesson for the generations behind you. Your children, your family, and even those who look up to you will see that God's timing is perfect, that obedience produces results, and that faith in the unseen is never in vain. Your story becomes a blueprint for others, showing them how God turns rejection into redemption, betrayal into blessing, and opposition into opportunity. Chosen one, your enemies will see your restoration, your favor, and your victory. But never forget, your miracle is ultimately for God's glory. It is a testimony that heaven's plans cannot be derailed, that his promises never fail, and that when he sets his hand on a life, nothing, no person, no circumstance, no enemy can stop it. So lift your head, stand firm, and continue in faith. Every delay, every trial, every closed door has been part of this divine setup. The table is prepared, the stage is set, and the audience is arriving. Your enemies will watch your miracle unfold, but more importantly, God's glory will be revealed through you, and that is all the validation you will ever need. Chapter 6. The miracle will be greater than your prayer. Chosen one, hear me clearly. What God is about to release in your life is far beyond anything you dared to ask for, imagine, or even pray for. You prayed with hope, you pleaded with tears, you begged with faith. But what is coming is greater than your faith, bigger than your dreams, and more powerful than your prayers. This is not just a blessing, it is a divine explosion of favor that will shake the very foundations of your life. You asked for survival, and God is not just giving you life, He is giving you abundance. Not just enough to get by, but overflowing provision that will stun you. You asked for healing, and God is not just mending what was broken, He is giving you complete restoration, wholeness in every area of your life. Body, mind, spirit, relationships, finances, and purpose. You asked for a single door to open, and God is building a highway of divine opportunity. A path so wide, so secure, and so radiant that no human opposition, no delay, no betrayal, and no obstacle can close it. Ephesians 3:20 says, "Now to Him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us." Chosen one, God is about to prove this truth in your life. The miracle is so large, so spectacular, so perfectly timed that even your own mind will struggle to comprehend it. What you thought was the peak of blessing is only the beginning. Heaven is about to unveil a plan that surpasses imagination, a plan so divine and intentional that it will leave witnesses speechless and even the enemy bewildered. And here's the reality. This miracle is not just for you. It will ripple through generations. Your children will walk in its favor. Your family will experience doors of opportunity they never anticipated. Even strangers, those connected to your destiny, your purpose, or your acts of faith will feel its impact. What God is building in your life is a legacy, a spiritual and material inheritance that cannot be taken away, erased, or diminished. Think about Joseph again. He prayed for justice, deliverance, and reunion, but God gave him authority over all of Egypt. What seemed like a personal miracle became a blessing for nations, a pathway to salvation for countless lives. Your miracle will operate on the same principle. It will not only satisfy your heart, it will fulfill God's purpose on earth, touching lives in ways you cannot yet measure or predict. Chosen one, the beauty of this miracle is its unexpected timing and unimaginable magnitude. You will look back on your prayers and realize that what you thought was enough was merely a shadow of what heaven had planned. Your miracle will bring joy so deep that tears of gratitude will flow. Your miracle will bring peace so profound that every fear you ever had will be silenced. Your miracle will bring favor so visible that even those who opposed you will be forced to acknowledge the hand of God in your life. And perhaps the most astonishing part, this miracle will rewrite your bloodline. Generational curses, lack, and limitation will be overturned. What once seemed impossible for your family will now be possible through you. Your life will become a testimony, a living proof that God's promises are real, that His timing is perfect, and that when He intervenes, nothing, even human skepticism, opposition, or disbelief, can hinder the miracle. Do not limit your vision, chosen one. Do not measure this moment by the scope of your prayers. God's miracle is bigger, greater, and more glorious than anything you dared to imagine. Stay faithful, stay expectant, and prepare your heart. The abundance, the restoration, the pathway, and the legacy are coming, and when it arrives, it will be nothing short of miraculous. And remember this: God's miracles often come when you are completely ready to receive them, even if you don't realize it. That's why the waiting felt long, why the struggle was real, and why the nights of tears seemed endless. Every trial, every delay, every no you faced was shaping you for this moment. You have been refined, purified, and elevated. You have been prepared to not only handle the blessing, but to walk in it with wisdom, humility, and power. Chapter 7. Step into the unexpected with faith. Now, chosen one, comes the hardest part, releasing control. This is the moment that tests the depth of your trust, the endurance of your patience, and the strength of your faith. Many have walked where you stand and stumbled here, not because God failed them, but because they clung too tightly to their own understanding. Stop trying to predict how God will move. Stop trying to map out His plan according to your timetable or your comfort. Stop insisting that His blessing look exactly like your prayer. God does not operate according to logic or human expectation. He operates according to His wisdom, His power, and His perfect timing. He moves by faith, and faith asks you to step forward even when the way is hidden, even when the outcome is unseen, and even when hope seems fragile. The miracle is coming, but it will not arrive in the way you expect. It may not come with the applause of men. It may not arrive neatly packaged or in a form that you can immediately recognize. It may appear messy, unusual, or completely unfamiliar. But that is precisely how God works. He hides His glory in the ordinary, His triumph in the unexpected, and His blessings in places the world would overlook. Do not miss it because it looks different from your imagination. Do not dismiss it because it feels uncomfortable. Do not reject it because it exceeds your expectations. The miracle is coming and it will transform everything, but it will come on God's terms, not yours. Chosen one, your assignment now is simple, yet it requires everything of you. Keep your faith alive. Keep your heart open. Keep trusting when every sign points to delay, when every circumstance seems impossible, and when every voice in your mind whispers doubt. Every moment of waiting, every second of uncertainty, every tear shed in the secret place, every prayer offered in the dark, none of it is wasted. Heaven has been recording it all. The waiting has been preparing you, refining you, shaping you into the vessel fit for the blessing that only God could ordain. Remember this: the delay is not denial, the pause is not punishment, and the waiting is not meaningless. God's timing is perfect. Your miracle may be delayed, but it will arrive exactly when you are ready to receive it. The hand of God cannot be rushed, and the plan of God cannot be thwarted. When it arrives, it will leave no question that this was God all along. The breakthrough will silence every critic, overwhelm every doubt, and honor every moment you remained faithful. Your miracle will reveal your true identity, not just to the world, but to yourself. It will confirm that you are chosen, called, and set apart for such a time as this. This is also a test, chosen one, a test of surrender, a test of patience, and a test of unwavering belief. God wants to see not only your readiness to receive, but your readiness to trust Him fully. Faith is the currency that unlocks the impossible, and your obedience will open the door to the extraordinary. Do not trade your faith for certainty. Do not barter your trust for comfort. Do not allow fear to blind you to the blessings already in motion. And here is the beautiful truth. When the miracle arrives, it will exceed every prayer, surpass every hope, and rewrite every expectation. What you once thought impossible will become inevitable. Your life will become a testimony of God's glory. Your story will inspire generations, and your obedience will be a beacon for those still waiting. People may have doubted you, overlooked your preparation, and dismissed your patience. But heaven has never missed a moment. Your miracle will be a declaration of God's faithfulness, power, and unending love. So lift your eyes, chosen one. Open your hands, expand your heart. Step boldly into the unknown, not with fear, but with faith. Trust in the unseen, lean on the unshakable, and believe in the impossible. Keep moving forward even when the path is dark. Keep standing even when the storms rage. Keep believing even when the world whispers, "It's too late." Your miracle is coming. It is coming differently than you imagined, greater than you prayed for, and precisely when you are prepared to receive it. And when it finally arrives, the world will see what heaven already knew. You were chosen for this exact moment, called for this very purpose, and set apart to walk fully in the glory, power, and favor of God. Step forward, chosen one. Your appointed time has come. The blessing has been prepared. The miracle is ready to manifest,